Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry it's been a little bit of a while here, but I'm back. So this mower here, there's a long story on this. I've had this forever. When I first got it, it was a piece of garbage. Like, it was terrible shape. I'll show you. I'll put a picture on screen right now. That's what the mower looked like. It was all rusty and nasty. It was in the winter time, as you could tell, but it was nasty. So what I did is I nut and bolt restored this mower. I'll put another picture on screen here. You could see the mower as it's all apart. And then I put it back together and I got it working, got it ready to list. Almost sold it. I was really close to selling it, but I didn't. And I went to go get it out because somebody was interested in it again, and it wouldn't start. So I went, hey, what the heck is going on? So I pulled out the spark plug, and sure enough, it didn't have any spark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off the top shroud, and I'll unplug the kill switch. I mean, I don't think that's going to do anything, but I'm almost going to have to put another coil in it. I have probably about 4 or 5 used Briggs and Stratton coils, good used coils. I'll just stick one of those in there. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the plug out and make sure that it, in fact, doesn't have spark. The other thing I should say about this mower is it has some blow-by. It's not that bad, but it has some blow-by. When you first start it up, it smokes for a little while, but I don't know. I don't think it's bad enough that anybody should be concerned about it, but when we get it running, we'll address that problem. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the plug out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pop the plug out. Go ahead and put this on the plug. And then the other side we'll just put on the block. I guess we'll put it on this bolt here. It's the only thing that's not painted. And we'll go give it a few pulls and see if she sparks. I might have a hard time telling, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't see spark. Just to make sure, I'm going to go ahead and put the plug back in and see if it pops off, because sometimes spark's too hard to see on these. But chances are it's not going to do anything because I didn't see any spark here. Does it have any gas in it? It's been sitting for a while. Oh yeah, there's gas in it. Let's go ahead and put this in. See if it'll pop off or anything. I doubt it, but we'll see. Didn't think so. Yeah, plug's wet. It's hard to tell from here, but the plug's wet. I'm sure you're not going to be able to see it. So we do have a spark issue. Luckily, this is going to be the easiest engine to ever change your coil on. All you have to do is this top shroud has to come off, and I think that's it. So you have 2 bolts here. There's a bolt to take the gas tank off. You have to pop the gas tank off. There's a few bolts up here for that, and then under that there's 2 bolts, and then this comes off. So let's get to it. And of course, this needs to come out to get to the bolts underneath. Oh, that's just that. So then you have, looks like 3 bolts to take out the gas tank. I should know, I had this thing all apart. I think I have the wrong size. There you go. And now I have to figure out what the heck I did with that first bolt because I lost it already. Oh well. It'll turn up someplace. There's a bolt under here. There's a little spacer that goes on that one. And gas tank will, I guess I'll just rest the gas tank over here for now. And then there's 2 bolts back here. I believe it's the same size. And there's one to take off the dipstick. I always like to, you can take it off with this cover, but I always like to dismount it because once I take that off, then the crankcase is all exposed, and you know, I'm not very fond of that. So what I like to do is I'll just take it off for now, and I'll twist it, or I'll put it right back in. Looks like this one is covers here, so I can't really twist it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that bolt back in there so I don't lose it, because it's a different one, I believe. Okay, and then the front 2. I'm gonna have to pull this out temporarily. Put this back in. There you go. Cut that off, and there is your coil. So, I believe, yeah, it's just little 1/4-inch bolts there. Go ahead and pop those off. Oh, I have my kill wire here. I'm not even gonna bother testing it without the kill wire because the kill mechanism, it's fine. It's there's no problem. Just slide it out. There you go. Bing, bang, boom. There's your coil. So I'm gonna go show you what I have for coils. Okay, I'm sure I have more somewhere, but these are the 2. This is the bad one here. These are the 2 that I just pulled out right away. I'm not sure if they're good or not, so I'm gonna have to do a little trial and error to see which one's good and which one's bad. But this one, I'm just gonna put that one totally different pile so I don't get confused. I know one of these is good because I remember scrapping a machine a way back that had a good coil on it, and one of these I believe is it. I think I'm gonna go to try with the one with the bolt holes on it. That means it was on a machine for a while. I think I'm gonna give this one a shot. I'm gonna go ahead and put this one on, and we'll see if it decides to work. Maybe before I put everything back together, I'll just spin over the flywheel with like a drill just to see if we have spark. Okay, so now I have the coil on loose here. You do want to make sure that there is a little bit of a gap between the coil and the flywheel. If we could find our magnets. Oh, I just found them. What I like to do is I like to take a business card. It's about 5,000, 7,000 thick. And I'll just stick it in between the magnet on the flywheel and the coil itself. And then it kind of cinches right onto the coil. I'm sorry, the coil just kind of pushes itself on the flywheel from the magnet force, and you have a little gap there. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten her down. Don't worry, I'm not going very tight. Oh, found my missing bolt. And there you go, you got yourself a little gap there. So I'm going to go ahead and find a socket to put on that this bolt here, so I can spin the engine over for a little while and see if this coil works. Wrong size. 15/16. It's pretty big. Oh, there we go. Oh, I got the clutch on. There we go. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to find a way to disable that engine brake right here. It just sits on the flywheel, and what that's meant to do is that's meant to stop the engine in a hurry, so that in case an unfortunate situation happens where somebody gets injured by either the lawnmower blade or getting run over, the blade hurts somebody, when you let go of the handle, the engine brake stops the engine quicker than it normally would, so it doesn't backfire or keep spinning or hurt somebody more, you know. So I have to find a way to disable that. Normally what you would do is you would hold the handle down, and that lets it go. Actually, you know what? If I can put this up here, just let that sit there, I can hold on the handle, and I can see it from here. Oh yeah. Okay, I don't know about you, but I certainly saw a spark on there. It's kind of hard, like in my other videos before, it's very difficult to tell on camera because it's such a small spark. But I know that it works, so I'm going to go ahead and put the engine back together and hope for the best. Okay, you guys didn't see me get very far because my camera just died. So I switched to, I'm on my phone now. Hopefully I can finish it without another interruption here. But I didn't do too much. I just got the front cover on. I didn't bolt anything on yet, so you didn't miss too much. Okay, there you go. Everything's back together now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move out a little bit, and then we'll see if she starts. Okay, let's see if we got action. Might smoke a little bit because, like I said, there's a lot of there's some blow by on the rings. Well, it ran and it smoked like crazy, but I noticed that it's running a little bit high on the RPM side, so I'm going to have to lower those down a little bit. There's a little tab on these Briggs and Stratton, the flatheads. There's a little tab right next to the primer bulb. If you bend it in, it lowers the RPM. And if you bend it out, it raises it. There's a little spring there. So I'm going to go ahead and bend it in a little bit because it's running a little too high on the RPM side. because this one has throttle control. It's not a tab, it's a screw. It's a Torx screw because it has the, I don't know if you saw me playing with it, but up in that corner right there, there's a little control that controls the throttle. So it's not a tab, it's a screw. And of course it's Torx, because what's not Torx on these lawn equipment these days? Everything's Torx. I don't know, I like Torx better because it seemed to have a better grip. I'm a fan of Torx. I like Torx. You know what? I'm thinking the better thing to do is to have it running so I can hear it, so I can turn it while it's running. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, now this is a bad idea, don't do this at home, but I'm going to grab a pair of vice grips and clamp off the bar that allows for spark on the engine. I'm going to be very, very, very careful because you're not attended up at the bar. That's much better. It's running a little bit lower. Those lawnmowers aren't supposed to be screaming like that. So that's definitely better. The only thing I have to figure out now with it is if I want to do anything with the blow-by on the rings. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to run it. Just run it for a long time and see if the rings loosen up at all. I'm sure they will, but anyways, that's all I have. I got it running. Replaced the coil. That other coil I'm going to have to throw in the garbage so I don't get confused. Maybe I'll save like the plug boot or something. But you know what else I should do? I should replace the front tires. You see the back tires, they have tread, and the front tires are just bald. So that's something I got to do at some point. Other than that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.